Welcome into Arsenal Report, and Piero Hincapie, the very talented Bayer Leverkusen center back, left center back, is seemingly now on his way to Arsenal. A second hijacking for Arsenal from Tottenham's transfer plans, and this one's almost as big. This is the type of profile I've been talking about all summer. The type of left back who can overlap, use pace to get down the wing, whip in crosses from deep in the opponent's area, allow for a player like Eze, or allow for a player like Trossard, or either of those left wingers, even Martinelli, to get more central, to get into more goal-scoring situations, to get into the areas of the pitch that they're more comfortable in. And yes, the left winger, especially if it's Martinelli, will continue to stay wide at times. But to have the option of an overlapping left back allows those players to receive in the half spaces closer to the goal and give themselves better opportunities to score goals. And I think the signing of Eze kind of put this over the edge that we needed this profile, because there's no doubt that we have Odegaard and Ethan Nwaneri who are going to play the majority of those minutes at the 10. That's a fact. So if that's the case and you went and spent all this money on Eze, you need a player that works with Eze on that left-hand side. And so what that's going to mean is you're going to almost have double 10 sitting in front of this double pivot. So that double pivot is going to be like two closer in, and then you've got Eze and either Ethan or Odegaard like a little bit higher and wider, and then you'll have Saka kind of holding the width on the right side. You'll have Hincapie holding the width on the left side, or Calafiori, whoever it might be. Could be Madueke on the right. It's unbelievable to try and get this deal done. His release clause is, I believe, around 60 million euros. But from my understanding, the player has requested with Bayer Leverkusen to negotiate reasonably and to potentially get this down into the 40 to 50 range. And he stopped talking to Tottenham. He wants Arsenal. He believes in the project. He believes in Andrea Berta, Arteta, and Arsenal's project. He wants to come in, and that, to me, is the most exciting part of this. It's a player who not only knows what his role is going to be, which is he's still going to split time with Calafiori. He's still going to be a bit of a backup option to Gabriella, left center back. Like, the three of them kind of have that left side knockdown. It means Jakub Kiwior is on his way out. We're about to get to that on the show here, as you can see on the right side. But it also means that Miles Lewis-Skelly is seen as a midfielder and that he's going to move into midfield, which to me is incredibly important. Miles Lewis-Skelly's future is 20 times higher as a midfielder, and it allows us to continue to have dynamic players in that midfield area. Listen, I love Mikel Merino. I think he's a great squad player. But if Rice or Zubimendi were to go out and it was to be Norgard and Merino in midfield, you lose a lot of the dynamicness that you get with Rice and Zubimendi, and you get that back with Miles Lewis-Skelly. So if you were to go Norgard to Miles Lewis-Skelly or Zubimendi to Miles Lewis-Skelly, you have the dynamism that you need, and a player who's bouncy in midfield with legs, a player who wants to carry in midfield, who will play line-breaking passes in midfield, a player who's not scared to, have responsibility in midfield, trying to break out of the press in deep areas. So really exciting all-around deal here from Hincapie. Hopefully have this done soon, because if you believe the reports that have been posted, and it appears that they are true, Jakub Kiwior's deal was meant to be done yesterday. There was a private jet that came to pick him up. They thought that deal was going to get finished, but Arsenal are not willing to completely finalize this deal until what they want is met for Kiwior, but also until this Hincapie deal is going to be over the line. They're not going to be short on options. If Kiwior is going, it means somebody else is coming in. Where the Kiwior deal is right now is Porto sent an offer for 26 million euros loan with an obligation to buy package. So there'll be a fixed fee and a loan fee. So the loan fee will probably be 3 to 5 million. Then you'll have the 26 million loan option. So that's like around 31 million, 32 million euros. Their record fee is 32 million euros. So I'm guessing they're just staying right under their record fee is what they offered. Arsenal responded with a counteroffer, which was the main point of negotiations. Arsenal are hoping the final fee is closer to 30 million plus that loan fee. So you're going to probably get 35 million all in for Jakub Kiwior, which, again, if you remember from the beginning of the summer, I've been saying that is the mark that we need to get for Kiwior. This is a player who's worth 35 million, maybe 40 million euros to a good selling club. And listen, I'm not overly worried about all these minuscule amounts of dollars, but I know a lot of fans are, so just keeping you updated. So then the plan is, once that is met, Kiwior will then move to Porto, where he wanted to go. There were Premier League clubs who wanted him. Kiwior and his family chose Porto. That's where they want to go. So it appears that is where his future is going to lie. Hopefully that deal and the Hincapie deal all kind of wrapped up here before the international break window opens, which is when the transfer window closes. So a couple days left on that. And then, of course, there are some other sales that still need to get done. It looks like Reece Nelson is on the brink of a transfer at the moment. Fulham have been one that are very heavily linked with him. I know Fulham are looking at Chukwueze. They're looking at that talented Brazilian from Shakhtar Donetsk. But I think Reece Nelson's still on the table for them. And it may be a loan with an option to buy. I believe Reece has the option to extend his contract by one more year so that he wouldn't be leaving on a free transfer. But I know he prefers a loan move. Arsenal are hoping to make this permanent. I do think this is a lot closer to being done than what's being reported from the little bit of information I've picked up from some people who know what's going on behind the scenes. So hopefully we're going to get some positive Reece Nelson news soon. And then in the last couple of days, Fabio Vieira, Sambi Lokonga. I mean, these players themselves are going to want to leave. There's not space for them in the squad. They're not going to play. So you'd imagine they're going to be having their agents look for transfer moves, whether it be loans or permanent moves, just to get them out. You don't want a bloated squad too much, so you got to kind of toe the line there. But those are really the main ones left to get done. Kiwior, almost finished. Reece Nelson, I would say 75% of the way there. Lokonga, Vieira need to get done. We already did Carl Hayne. We're in a really good position on all of these sales. And that leaves us in a great squad position for next year. We're not going to have any dead weight going into next year, right? Like maybe Mikel Merino is a player who leaves, but who's a player who's very solid and will garner a transfer fee, not on ridiculous wages. He's the smart kind of player to be able to sell. You could see Martinelli go. You could see Trossard go. So the squad won't be overly bloated next year. Gabriel Jesus. It's a really good place for it to be in. And finally, just updates on those Saka and Odegaard injuries that forced them off in the brilliant 5-0 win against Leeds United. Odegaard's is a bit of an odd one. The Norway manager is considering calling him up. So that means he's definitely not too injured. It's like a shoulder, collarbone. Something's not 100% right in there. To me, I hope he gets the next 2 weeks off and he comes back for the City match and he's fully fit. And for Saka, not a grade 3 hamstring situation, somewhere between a grade 1 and a grade 2. So they're going to reevaluate him in a couple of weeks, but they do expect to have him back for that home match against Man City. But without both of them this weekend at Anfield, it'll be definitely a bit more challenging. But make sure to subscribe because tomorrow we're going to look at what the lineup should be for Anfield, how Arsenal should go out and play against Liverpool. So make sure you're subscribed so you can be here for that tactical breakdown. This is Arsenal Report, videos every day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.